So you see that we are studying Yoga Sutra. Oh, here is Anne. You got vaccination? I see your moving lips. I don't hear you. Yeah.
Okay, I said, I got lots of poison into my body.
Okay, that is
That's
good.
what the vaccine is.
Yeah, it's a good poison.
We'll see, we'll see.
So you see that what we were talking, that we are studying Yoga Sutra. So study of Yoga Sutra is like you are studying, you can say PhD. And we have, because you all are great seekers, so why to study the basic text? But normally, the journey starts first with the basic text, which gives you the definition of the terms used in our Eastern wisdom. Like we use the mind, so we have a clear understanding of the mind. We use consciousness, and then we use three bodies, Traya Sharira. So that is the beginning. After learning the basic terms, then we study a lot of concepts and analogies. So, what are the concepts of Eastern wisdom? Then the third group of the text, where we study what is the system, what is the organized method, what is the practice, what do you mean by liberation, what do you mean by awakening, and then we study. Then comes the Yoga Sutra. So it is at a much higher level. And after studying the Yoga Sutra, then we study the ultimate text, which is known as Upanishads. There are 108 Upanishads. So come back to our topic now. Some people have noted down. So last week we studies Shraddha, Viryam, Smriti, Samadhi, Pragya, Purvak, Itaresham. Shraddha. So if we have Shraddha, the faith, huh? If we have faith and we explained and understood what exactly is the faith. Shraddha, then Viryam. So Viryam is energy, enthusiasm, sincerity, and right memory. In every study, we keep that right memory about where we have gone, what are the challenges, and we remember these simple principles also, and plus our experiences. So Shraddha, Viryam, Smriti, and Shraddha, Viryam, Smriti, Samadhi. So means regular practice with the wisdom. Otherwise, we forget. Unless we are perfect, we have a driving license, we need to continue the practice. And the fifth one is pragya. Pragya, it has two syllables, means simple meaning is uh, discernment and dispassion. Now see that we as a human being have the what we say, that our level of self-awareness is much higher as compared to other animals. I have seen lot of pets, moving around you during the meditation. I hope they are also doing the meditation. And provided if they do it, you have to send me the check. No cheating. Yes. So now see that there is a big difference between our level of self awareness. They are also intelligent, no doubt. You teach them, you guide them, say hello. Uh, Unfortunately, we don't have tail to express our love, so they have the tails also to express their love. Oh, now, what is the basic difference? That tells us about the fifth quality that we have. Fifth quality, fifth trait of the self awareness. If we don't have that, forget about yoga, meditation, etc. We don't. Then what we do in the name of yoga? Then we are walking on our hands, headstand pose, etc., etc. So we have all those. Now, just understand the the difference between the self-awareness in animals, and take an example of a dog and the cat. You know it. I'm just reminding you. When the dog faces the mirror, what happens? That dog claims that there is another dog in the mirror, and they are ready to fight or swing their tails to be friendly with them. I was looking at the videos and I saw that German Shepherd was looking into the mirror and they barked. And then the German Shepherd went behind the mirror to find out, where is my friend? You know it. We don't do it. We are 100% sure that we see the image, see the level of self awareness. This is one difference. Huh? This is one difference. Clear? So, why I'm explaining you this? We should know, otherwise, there is no meaning of this example. You see that when we are stressed and anxious, that is only an image, and we get stressed. Our level of self awareness drops down. Did you get it? As the dog starts barking in the mirror, seeing his own image, considering that that guy is different, so let me find out. We become totally different when we are stressed and angry and agitated. Honey, I love you. And the next moment, we become totally different. Done. Done. And then we see that image of being anger is real to me. Real to me. In anxiety, in stress, in duality, in conflict. Very good. In duality and conflict. Here it goes. Huh? So now understand what we are taking. So if you have these five traits almost at 100%, equal in quantity and quality, this is another sutra. So Master says, Tirva samveganam asannah. What he says, if you have 100% of these traits, that attitude in you, success in meditation will take place hardly in a week. Then you will say, I am joining you again to have a more clarity. Otherwise, I have succeeded in meditation. This is what the master says. You see the systematic study? Huh? In the previous week, what we have studied, that they are God gifted, they are born seekers. Last week we understood there are five traits. So in this way, here the master says, if you have these five qualities 100% in quality and quantity, success is just in few days. So we had need to understand, we need to remember. So what are these five traits? It is basically an attitude towards life. Nothing more than that. Attitude towards life, day to day living. It is not that you sit with eyes closed and close the room and then you cultivate these qualities. Shraddha, faith. Faith will not come when you close the room, and when you open the room, the Shraddha, faith is gone. It is an awareness. It is my attitude. Do you see that? It is your attitude. Shraddha. Same way the memory, you don't forget your name. You don't forget your gender. Oh, there are people who forget. We are not talking of those people. So, do you see that? It is our attitude. Attitude here and now. So, when you have that attitude with these five traits, success is always there. But why? Why the master is saying this happens? So, Shraddha means holding on in the field of awareness, that knowledge of the real self all the time. That real self is permanent peace and happiness. So, then what happens? For women, a handsome person like John appears before them. So, there is a change in the mind. Why? Because the mind perceives falsely the happiness is outside. For us, if we see the beautiful women. So, for that seeker, because he is holding on the real self, or she is holding on the real self in the mind, no problem, no influence, no problem. Now, see the opposite. Someone becomes anxious, angry over you, reactive, and you withdraw your mind inside. Okay, I'm with my real self. You continue to be angry. 100% attitude. Attitude. Now your of happiness is not outside because it is inside. So the mind lives inside 24 by 7. Now see one factor Michelle was saying today, I'm tired. How many times you are tired every week? So this is one major cause of challenges that takes place in the body. You live into that state, that attitude, and that energy is not scattered outside through the mind. You live into it. May be any professional, social, lot of these two examples doesn't fit totally here. So mind, get obsessed with something. Sometimes the mind get obsessed with even the body. Sometimes it get obsessed with the thing in the office, in the workplace. So what master is saying, Tir vasamveganama sanna, 100%. Do you want to succeed? 100% of these five traits, which converts into my attitude towards life. Right memory. Same thing, energy and enthusiasm. Sometime I feel when I start talking, I have Sunday session for about 3 hours continuously. So after 1 hour, I see my energy level goes up. Normally, people's energy level goes down. So when I teach 2 hours, then now energy level is 50% more. 3 hours, it is almost 80% more. That is required. So remember these five traits. 5 traits. I give you another example so that it makes you understand. I know all are my friends, I'm not a guru, so I don't feel that you are my students, but for the sake of understanding. So I had one friend in India, very good, wonderful man, millionaire. So I'm not naming that, so that it remains private, confidential. In America, uh, we have privacy. So one beautiful woman, couple of months ago, she told me everything about her personal professional life within 5 minutes because she was in the mode of anxiety. And then when I started, because I thought that she is talking to me because she needs some guidance. So the moment I start talking, no, you are interfering in my privacy. Come on, come on. So sometime, I have to face a lot of things. I know that. There is nothing as such as privacy anyhow. So this friend, so what was his problem? He was a very good student of mine for at least 5 or 6 years, and he was taking care of all my financial needs in India without saying anything. So what happened that whenever he used to go to the mall and whenever he used to see any women, he used to freeze down. Freeze means his body used to stop and his eyes got wide open, and he continued. And he used to come to me crying, today my wife, said that this is, you have a big problem. You don't love me. Now just go opposite of this. I will stop this example here. The moment you wake up in the morning, you live with those 5 traits, you have a perfect attitude, you will succeed in meditation. Very high, that friend, he learned a lot of things and ultimately he got rid of the problem. So the mind sometimes get too much obsessed, habituated, like the dog I gave an example in the beginning. Low level of self-awareness. I got stuck. Why I got stuck? Because the mind, because of its past memories in the habit, is is seeking that pleasure and happiness. So we need to have 100%. So this master says, think of this. Do I have that attitude of holding on? Do I remember? Yes. Right memories? Yes. Energy is there? Yes. Oh, I see that real self is only one inside. I live into that state of dispassion. So, what happens? What exactly happens in the mind? I can promise you, if you live into that attitude 100%, even for 1 hour, you will find that you are living in a different world, as if you have a sense of freedom. You have a tremendous energy. Calmness and peace is already there. That is why he named these 5 attitudes. Now, see how the mind changes by listening and the talking. Decoyed, Decoyed, I think, that's a right word to use. Who kills people for the selfishness. Decoyed. So, Buddha was walking in the forest where he met a dacoit. He used to snatch all the belongings, those who walked into the forest, and cut one finger after killing that guy and used to put as a garland. His name is very famous. His name is Anguli Mal. Anguli means finger, Mal, garland. So when he saw Buddha, He thundered, "Oh man, are you not scared of me?" Buddha said, "No." That is what happens if you have these five attitudes, five traits in you. But Buddha was at that time enlightened. Buddha smiled and responded, "Why should I be frightened of you? We both are human beings." The poet said, "Because I steal everything and kill people." Now see what happens to you. I didn't understand that. What happens to you? What happens to us if some guy says, "I will, I steal everything and I kill people"? What happens to us? But when you live with these five traits, Buddha said, "Why you kill people?" He did not say, "You will kill me." We get upset because the mind remains outside. We are not holding on to the truth. Are you getting it? If I'm holding on to the real self, that is the state of the fearlessness. So Buddha said, asked, "Why you kill people?" "Because I need money to help my family." Now see, this is what happens by listening to these principles. So Buddha asked, "I think killing people you accumulate lot of sins. Does any of your family is ready to accept the sins you are committing for them?" The poet said, "I never thought about it." So Buddha said, "Go to your home. I'll wait for you until you return and ask your family if they are ready to accept the sins you commit." He went to his family, but everyone refused. His wife, his son, daughter, with whom he had an intense attachment, to accept. They are not ready to accept the sins. That is why I normally sometimes say that take the world lightly. Your near and dear ones lightly in the sense that mind is free from attachment. We had a long conversation, I and Anne, sometime some weeks ago. Take the our near and dear ones lightly without any attachment. Are you getting it? So ultimately, that dacoit returned and he said, he started crying. "Nobody is ready to commit sin, and I have killed thousands of people." He became one of the great masters in Buddhist tradition. This is what the attitude is. So think of it. Do I live into that attitude? So Patanjali, our great master, says, "Tirva samvega namasanna." In the goal is achieved when the seeker has an intensity to follows the practice. Means he is an intense seeker, she is an intense seeker. Means when you have that intensity of seeking your own self to succeed in meditation, you become almost equal to those seekers who became great masters, who did not make any effort with these five traits. They were born gifted seekers. This is what the master is comparing. Normally, what we say, "Oh, he is Buddha, I'm an ordinary fellow." That is why the master is, Patanjali is saying, "I can also become Buddha." That is the message. Name of the Buddha is famous because, we feel as if he left the kingdom and he became a monk. It means that is a very great sacrifice. What is that meaning? That my mind still gives lot of importance to that possessions, to that wealth. When I think in that way, then I don't have that attitude. Are you getting it? There is a Rumi of India. His name is Kabir. He was born in a very humble family, poor family. He was a weaver. He remained as a weaver. Not many people know him. So you see, the society feels great. Oh, he was a king, he was a prince, and he left the kingdom. Kabir was not less than the Buddha. Are you getting it? Mind is mind is more attracted outside. That is why I my mind feels and declares, oh, Buddha was a great monk. How can the no, I'm not criticizing. It is just an analogy to understand the journey. Buddha has to spend 6 years in extreme austerity before he achieved enlightenment. So, as compared to the God gifted seekers who are born seekers like Vivekananda, he completed his work at the age of 37, 38. Buddha continued to live until the age of 89, 90 years. He got awakened at the age of maybe 49 or 59. I don't remember now. But till then, the Vivekananda has completed his work. He came to US, he taught, he contributed 200 books, he showed the path, and people are still learning what he taught. Are you getting it? So think of it and contemplate. Remember all this attitude. It's all about attitude. Forget about the traits. First, think of the faith. You need not to practice faith. When you practice faith, you destroy it. So, faith actually means my mind is aware, holding on the way your mind is holding, or your name, your gender, your place of your home, everything the same way you hold one more thing. And my real nature is peace and happiness. Simple. Why? You don't give a place to your anxiety, duality, conflict. See that? Then you can continue to smile. Otherwise, I check, within few minutes, a smile disappears. It disappears from your face. Why it disappears? Do you remember the proverb? Face is the index of mind. So mind returns on your face. Do you see that? Attitude. Just think of that attitude. And then right memory attitude. I am pure consciousness. Huh? And that energy level. Energy, enthusiasm is to find myself is much more than seeking pleasures outside. And supported by discernment. I gave an example of discernment. Dog, discernment is wrong. And our discernment, if it gets wrong, we lose that awareness, then the meditation will not succeed. I will bring an end to this Swami Vivekananda. First, understand what he defines yoga. Yoga is a process or a method of compressing one's evolution in a single year, few months, few hours of earthly existence. So, what it means? Meditation is nothing, you compress your evolution. Why you compress? Why you need to compress your evolution? If you are going by the whims of the nature, then we continue to suffer. We don't realize that here in this event there is no suffering, there is no pain, because the mind is moving outside, it is attached, it causes the pain and the suffering. All those divorce and other stuff, fighting and the crime, all comes from because of this. So what Vivekananda says, once you learn this science of Eastern wisdom, that it includes yoga and meditation, you are compressing your evolution depending on your intensity. What is that? You have 100% of these 5 traits. an attitude, then what will happen? Few hours of earthly existence. You learn from weird guy like me, and you accelerate your evolution much faster than I did. You're done. Okay, I got it. Otherwise, if you have less of those qualities in and quantity, then few instead of few hours, it is few weeks. You have still less than few months. You have still less than few years. You have none of them, then thank God, because you don't have it. Yeah, yeah, we should thank God. Why to enter into this such a crazy business? See that. That is how the entire journey is rightly understood. If you understand it clearly, then you contemplate and reflect. That helps us to accelerate our process of evolution.